Good evening, or I should say afternoon. It's about 3 in the afternoon on Sunday, December something. I'm not sure what date it is. It is the second week of Advent starting. So happy Advent to all those of you who celebrate Advent. Those of you who don't, so happy Advent. I am in the inaugural smoke of a new acquisition that I have recently purchased. A Peterson. I love their boxes. I wish there was something I could do with the box. It's such a nice box. But my acquisition is a Peterson, let's see if it says on here, Sandblasted Christmas 2023 Sandblasted XL17. I've always liked the, see if I can get this going here. I've always enjoyed the bent shape. And if you can see that, this is kind of a, I don't know, it's a huge pipe. It's not like a, I forgot what the name of the, it's not Caswell. I forgot what the name of the big pipes are. They're just huge. I'd love to have one of those, but this one's a nice bent. It's got a nice little silver around the side there. It's kind of like an Paul. Not quite as deep, but still a nice shape that kind of rests in the mouth. Allows me to sit and write. It kind of hangs there. I'm smoking from the Country Squire, what is called Black Arrow. I believe it's part of their fantasy series. I've enjoyed, they had, I think it's Hobbit's Weed they put out. A couple of unique names. This is a nice room note. I'm kind of getting over a cough, so still a little coffee. But it's has a beautiful aroma, good room note, and but I thought I'd come down and make a video. It's been a while, and it's good to be back. Well, actually, it probably was Christmas Eve of last year, or New Year's Eve of last year, that I made my last video. I appreciate the comments that I've gotten on some of the other videos, and several of you asking for me to kind of come back, and I've wanted to. I definitely have. But life just kind of gets away with you from some time. First there was spring, then there was summer and fall and winter, and now we are here in Advent almost to come to Christmas. But yeah, a lot of things happened. I lost my camera. It just kind of, well, the system died on me. My PC wouldn't interact with it, so I had no camera. My phone didn't want to interact as well, but I finally got the system set back up, and I've been meaning to do something for a while, but it's good to be back. I've been watching a lot of the videos of everyone out there, so I appreciate that, which y'all are putting out content, even though people like me are not very consistent. It's nice to have y'all who are consistent in putting out the information. Had a lot happen, I guess, since last time I was on, over the course of a year. I've changed jobs, still doing the same thing. I work with online learning, but I now work for a university. I'm building a greenhouse. Try to grow some veggies in there. That'll really come to fruition next year. Maybe I can bring you out in the garden, show you some of the things that I've been doing over the year. I started a new hobby, at least in the sense that I've bought the materials to start a new hobby. I started watching a phenomenon called hammock camping. I've done camping, but it's always with a tent. Never really done very much with a hammock itself. So the idea of combining the two seemed interesting. I ordered one, I think it was October 17th, and should be in, I think, this week. It's from Superior Gear, if you've ever heard of them or know much about hammock camping. I ordered one in October. I think they actually hand sew them, so it takes a while. They make them as you order them. So I'm looking forward to going out this winter and trying hammock camping. I think I'll probably limit the temperature at least to the upper 20s, probably 30s. It's exciting. My wife did ask me, said, why? Why would you do that? I said, well, it's kind of an exciting adventure. It's kind of a pass-fail. You know, if you freeze to death, you failed. But I think I bought enough of the underquilt and the overquilt and everything else that I should be okay. So I have a chance to go out. Once it comes in, I will bring you along and show you what happens. And you may be able to see the last video I ever make. Or one of hopefully many more. I also started a dream that I've been wanting to do is, you probably know from some of my past videos that I created a fantasy role-playing game. And in fact, I have, there's the book right there, Lore. Get the shine off of it. 456 pages, I believe, of RPG goodness. Game mechanics, descriptions. All you have to read is about 11 pages, give you the overview of the game, and everything else is kind of reference for the players or the person who's leading the game. But in that world I created, hit the camera there. In the world that I created, I've always wanted to write a novel. And I've had several, in fact, that's one of the reasons why I actually wrote the game, was to create, I had to create a game with all the classes, all the background, the story, the locations, so that I had kind of the mechanics of what my novel would be about, how I'd write it. And now I'm finally getting around to writing the novel. So I've got the first 3 chapters written. I'm hoping over the course of the next 2-3 months I can bring that to fruition. But it's exciting. I have another book that I'm being contracted to write, and it's on, it's called Christian Apologetics, Defending the Faith. So it really is, it's taking the idea of what is Christian apologetics and then answering some of the major questions, at least attempting to. So, does God exist? Is the resurrection historical? How do we know that, or how would we assume that it's historical? What do you do with the concept of hypocrites in the church and the problem of evil? There's about 6 major questions, and I'm excited. That'll be my Christmas kind of vacation project, or at least getting a lot of it together. I had a chance to redo the library, and the other area over there, when I gave you the tour, when you come out of this particular door, you see on the right there was just a bunch of books on the floor, and there's a big wall. So I was able to build all those shelves in. I went with, and I'm kind of going even in here, I'll be changing some things. The new, the look Dark Academia, I've always enjoyed that. It's kind of a Victorian fantasy steampunk type of look. So it's a little bit darker, richer colors. I've got a couple browns, as you can kind of see right there on that. And paint the ceiling. I've got some other things I'm trying to do. I actually, leading from the other room into this room, I bought a wardrobe. It's a big cabinet. It looks kind of like a wardrobe. It's got 2 shelves on each side. They're about 2 feet wide. And then in the middle, it's about a 4-foot cabinet that used to house TVs that were Well, TVs used to be like 3 feet thick. I mean, they were big TVs. So this is a carryover from that. It goes from floor to ceiling. It has the dark look. It's really nice. But the couple that they bought it and they said they got a flat screen. They don't need it. So $200. I was able to purchase it. Probably originally was, I don't know, $2,000. But I gutted all the inside out of the middle one. I'm going to hinge the doors together so that you simply open the doors, put it against the wall, you open the doors, and it'll be a passage that comes into this particular room. So when I get that done, I'll give you a tour of what that looks like. I'm excited. I think my grandson will love it. Heck, I'll love it. I'll love just going through it every time I come in here. But yeah, a lot of things have been happening. I've had a lot of writing projects, reading. I've been reading through Dante's Inferno, trying to get back to some of those medieval classics. I set out this year I've done it before, I think I've mentioned this in other videos, where kind of a reading schedule, plan the next year to say, what do I want to read? It could be a topic, it could be a person's writings. But I did set this year a series of readings that I want to do every year. And for the Christmas season, at least of Advent, leading up to Christmas, I'd like to make it a habit of reading Dickens' Christmas Carol. And I thought that would be a good way to lead into Christmas, kind of refresh your memory. Advent has always been a great time for me. I love that looking from the Old to the New Testament, that longing, the idea of hope and of peace and prophecy and what was going on, the stories. But taking something a little bit more contemporary, like a Christmas Carol, and having that in my mind. Still want to read Hobbit, Lord of the Rings each year. I think I'll do that probably in January, February, but I've got the rest of the year I need to plan out. So, as is usually my problem, I have more books than time. So there's way more to read than I will ever get to, but that's okay. One of my goals, though, is to be more regular here. So hopefully I'll be able to do some book reviews and share a pipe with you, interact. So I'm looking forward to that. But just wanted to make a little rejoiner video here as I come back into the system. And wish you all again a very happy Advent, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. Maybe in our next video we can talk about the historical background of Hanukkah. I don't know if many people know, they think it's a Jewish holiday, but what is the biblical significance of that? So maybe we can do that here this next week. Anyways, happy Advent, and we will talk to you soon. Goodbye.